should probably get some tissue. Hi, everybody. Hi, Marianne. Good to see you here. Jiggy Pardo Lord, great to see you. Little Sense, hi. We're running a little behind today. That's okay. And a little behind in the book. This is not my first rodeo. Let's first, usually 10th week, we bring everything together. We'll wait a couple more minutes for people to get to the stream. I'm sorry, I should be talking into the microphone. A couple more minutes for people to get to the stream. I need to get some tissue just to make sure, because every time I do HCRV, when my sixth chakra opens, I start to drain. So I start off fine, and then the empath's prayer, it's like a gusher. So... the trials and tribulations of remote viewing. Okay. How is everyone tonight? Are you excited about class 4? What's our gang sign? Live long and prosper. I don't know. I'm looping. Looping? Am I loopy? Am I looping? Is everything okay? I am drinking Genmatcha tea, one of my favorites. This is one of the teas I decided to share with you tonight as students. This is a classic green tea. Everything is repeating. Seriously? Let me go take a look. It's one of those things that you just have to, oh God. I don't see things repeating here. Is anybody else know what everything's good here too. Excuse me. It might be your stream. Okay, we're doing good. Let's come together, people. Let's come together. Sometimes I like to open with a song. I try to teach you guys a little bit of naturopathic medicine when I can. Let me move this out. I got to change the... Everything is chaos today. What can we do? All right. Why is that not letting me... It's not letting me view... Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it either. Hold on. Another whimsy moment. Yes, another whimsy moment. There it is. Yay. I just wanted to look at the stream on YouTube because sometimes they chop off some of the stuff. Okay, let's get started. Today we're talking about the step 3 of heart-centered remote viewing. We're starting with step 3 of heart-centered remote viewing, and we always do that week 4. We try to have a consistency in the classes. If you are a new student, welcome. This is a 10-week course. You can take it as you can observe without getting credit. That is absolutely fine. However, if you would like to be trained as a remote viewer and receive credit for this class, we ask you to attend all 10 classes, either online or live, it doesn't matter, and to take notes and do the work. You do not need to send me your homework to prove to me that you took all 10 classes. We invite you to send your homework to me, whimsyanderson@gmail.com, and that information is below. If you are asking for credit for this class, it's a good idea to get to know some things about what we expect. So we are working with Hands of Light. Again, this is for those people who want to get credit or just want to really put themselves into the school of remote viewing. It's based on Tantra and core energetics. Studies go back thousands of years, even pre-Buddhism. So these techniques are ancient. Heart-centered remote viewing is not religious. No religious denomination can claim remote viewing. It's one of the things that we covered last week, is that the trance state, excuse me, the trance state is something that's experienced in all cultures throughout the world. Would anyone like to talk about their own culture or how they've experienced the trance state in their own lives, either in their church or privately? Anybody experiencing the trance states out there? I'm gonna have to sit up. Feel free to share. Okay, please turn to page 44 in your book. Hopefully I will not cough too much tonight. I'm being really careful about my health. But I do have allergies. All right. So on page 44, you should be able to see a demonstration of the 7 chakra system, which we are covering. And as we had mentioned last week, we deal with only 7 chakras and, 7 bodies. The tea is kicking in, hopefully. And that's because that is the nature of this work. Other people have seen higher bodies, higher worlds, higher dimensions. We've talked about the fact in the past that most worlds are non-physical in nature. Most worlds are non-physical in nature. And so consequently, most of our bodies are not physical in nature. Most worlds are not physical in nature, and most bodies are not physical in nature. Let's discuss that. Internal martial arts and Taoist breathing exercises. Yeah, very good, John. Daily life, daily practice, very good. Daily meditation. Playing music. Paul Simon has talked about that, the artist Paul Simon, that he can go into a semi-trance state and then the words come to him. He was told he would write 7 psalms. A voice in his head when he was sleeping. You will write 7 psalms. You will do this thing. So he was woken up in the middle of the night and went into his music room to write these 7 psalms. Where do these things come from? They come from an aspect of our being which is very deep, very profound, and they're higher aspects of ourself. We've also talked about the fact that as we grow older, we tend to start to focus more on the higher worlds as we prepare for the next incarnation or the next world. With the lower chakras, the lower 3 chakras become less of a focus, and we begin to focus more on the upper 4 chakras. So now I want to talk about the function of those chakras. If you go to page 46, please. And on page 46 of the book, you should see a frontal and a back image of those chakras as they are receiving information coming in from the physical world, but also coming in from the other dimensions. These chakras are loosely correlated and connected to the 7 bodies. So you have 7 chakras, and then you are enveloped like an onion in 7 bodies. Think of the chakras as organs. They are energetic organs that allow the flow of certain types of energies. Are there any questions about that? Okay, so if you look on page 47, you will see that the astral bodies are broken up into three main functions, with the lower being more closely associated with the physical plane. This is what we see in early childhood development, adolescence, up until, say, age 25, really. You're seeing these chakras being the main focus, and that has to do with reproduction, sexuality, and learning how to be social with other people, right? So we have the first chakra, which is associated with primal feelings of fight or flight, but also our ability to be grounded in the earth. So the less grounded you are, the less you are in the world, and the less you're able to do the work of the world. So, excuse me. So as professional empaths, we focus a lot on making sure that you are grounded. Anybody want to talk about ways in which, excuse me, I got a runny nose. Anyway, anyone like to talk about how they ground themselves, what techniques they're using? Tai Chi is very good. I like what John was saying. You know, anything that's going to get you to understand your hara or your base to keep you grounded. So we have the physical plane is the etheric body, emotional body, and the mental body. And we have the communication between those two worlds is happening at the astral body or the heart chakra. So the heart chakra takes the base information and raises it up to the higher vibrations. So what's happening is that you are grounding yourself in HCRV. We get you to ground yourself. The energy is coming up from the earth. The energy is coming down, and then you are abiding in that beautiful love and healing. The importance of step 3 is vital to healing, and it's also vital to you being able to step back and gain emotional perspective. Why is it dangerous to skip step 3? Step 3 is often neglected, and it is one of the most important steps, and that's why we spend a whole class talking about it. Qigong, very good. Qigong is also core energetics. It's also based on Bon, which is also based on HCRV, so it's all part of the same school. We all can't come from the same lineage, right? So all core energetics, the Bon technique, the Qigong, it's all coming from similar lineages back to the original source, which is actually pre-Buddhist. Very good. Okay, so let's keep moving on. So I just want to reiterate, so we're abiding in the ability to bring these energies together and to make sure that we are aligned effectively. So you could also do some yoga or some dance. I often will do stretching and dancing before I do remote viewing. Now, if you take a look at pages 48 and 49, you can see a little bit more about how the body's organs are organized and connected to the energetic organs of the chakras. With the first base being red and associated with the kidneys. In Chinese medicine, of course, kidneys are associated with fear, right? And the colors black and blue, like the ocean, right? The cold, dark, spooky ocean, right? That's the kidney energy, or the adrenals. Adrenals means to be above the kidneys, right? So they are attached to the kidneys, above the kidneys, and it's fight or flight, right? Cortisol, adrenal, right? The second chakra is your gonads, and your sexuality. Orange. And the third is yellow, often undeveloped, and it's the digestive system, which includes pancreas, stomach, liver, gallbladder, and parts of the nervous system, because the nervous system differentiates between in embryological development, a front and a back area. The front nervous system forms into the digestive tract, and the posterior forms into the brainstem and brain. This differentiation of the tissue is one of the reasons why the gut is called the little brain. And that's because when we are evolving, we become a little circle of cells, like one big hole. That's rather, and in the middle of that tube is the tissue that will become the brain and brainstem. And then it seals itself like this. So now you've got a front and a back hole. The front being the digestic alimentary system and the back being the brain. This is why you have serotonin in the brain and serotonin in the gut, dopamine in the brain, dopamine in the gut, histamine in the brain, histamine in the gut. Very good. See, I knew you'd get it. You're awake now, right? All right, page 49. Take a look at the chakras. So you have this beautiful energy coming in and it's flowing into the blood, into the nervous system through meridians, right? Through channels of meridians. And that's something we get into in Chinese medicine. And that's also something we work with when we work with the herbs, which is why I talked to you about the herbs. Now, this one is grounding. It's got the toasted rice. For nausea, for cancer patients, we will often give genmakai because it has some carbohydrate in it to ease the stomach, but it also contains phytonutrients, alkaloids, and phytonutrients associated with antioxidant benefits of cancer prevention. So, polyphenols. We'll talk a lot about polyphenols when we get into naturopathic medicine. But one of the things I want you to see, now it cleared my throat. That warm water always clears your throat, is to really explore these emotional bodies. You can see the emotional body of the second layer, all the way up into the fourth layer. I'll let you read that on your own, but suffice to say, we've talked about this. We also talked about page 55, where you can actually begin to see the astral body that is the most dense, which is the first astral body, and it has that beautiful kind of purple color. And if you would do this experiment in front of a white wall, you'll be able to see that. Any questions so far? Okay, so we're moving on to development of babies into adulthood, and we can go ahead and move to page 63 in the book, please. And you can see this nice, beautiful development of the baby when they go from birth. Now, it may not be politically correct in today's world, but in Kabbalah, the soul doesn't enter the body until the baby is born. So there's no conscious being until the crown comes out through the birth canal. So you have a body, but you don't have a developed consciousness. The brain is very undeveloped in humans prior to birth because our brains are so large that if the baby was developed, the mother would die in childbirth. And so the idea is that the first 24 months after birth, you have massive growth happening. And so the brain is actually unformed. And this is the purpose of the fontanelle. So you really have an uncooked, unformed creature coming out, right? With that is still, and the reason that we are so helpless at birth, unlike any other creature on earth, is because we are bipedal. We walk upright, and our brain, if it were fully formed, like a 24-month-old baby, it would kill the mother. And so it has to be born with an undeveloped brain. And so in Kabbalah and also in the Talmud, they understood this is an uncooked being. There's no brain yet. It's not a functioning, it can't survive even on, So the idea was when it crowns the vagina and begins the process of entering into the world. However, if it was actually the Talmud where they actually did do partial birth abortions if the woman was dying, if it was a risk, and they would try and do it in a way so that the baby was never born because of this concept. But they did do it. Sometimes it's necessary because they felt ancient people did not feel that children were the most important thing on earth. Ancient people believed that the mother is the most important being on earth. And nothing in this world has more value than the mother. And if she loses one child, if she can live, she may have another child. But it's important. She's already alive. She's a conscious being, etc. So that was kind of how they dealt with it. But you can see here also in page 65, the child versus the adult, the development of that chakra and how vulnerable the child is. So you really want to be aware of that. And there's some nice discussions also about how early trauma can prevent people from grounding. And it's another reason why abiding is so important. We understand you're a regular person and that you have trauma. We understand many excellent heart-centered remote viewing practitioners have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's as it has always been, right? From the time of the celestial virgins. It's not fair. It sucks, right? But most people who do this work, who find themselves in a mystery school, which is pretty much what this is, it's a modern day mystery school. They wind up here because they have complex PTSD, they're empaths, and they're trying to get some control. So we don't expect you to not be having bad days. I assume if someone's being trained as a professional empath, that they had a crappy childhood and that they've got complex PTSD, and they might be a foster kid like 11, and it's my job to help them maneuver life as an empath who had a really shitty childhood, because 99% of the time that's an empath. They are the wounded healer, and it's our job to keep them safe. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be without any pain at all. You wouldn't be a remote viewer. So the purpose of abiding is not to kick yourself in the gut and say, oh, I'm a mess, I can't work today. It's to be consciously aware of your stuff and to be able to put it aside and focus on the work. Do you guys see the difference? We don't expect you to be perfect. We're all a mess. I'm a mess. I've stopped faking it, right? But we're all a mess. Okay, so I want to show you some images of what you're going to start seeing and dealing with as remote viewers. I've shown you these pictures in the past, and I really want you to think about it. We're running a little late today because we started 10 minutes early. We are on time. I want to get through this class. I don't want us to get too behind. I want you to take a look at some of the images that the artist has depicted and really meditate on these. This picture that I'm showing you here is various different bodies that she has been in. Now, you're going to start experiencing what Barbara experiences as an empath. You're going to start feeling your head is heavy. You're going to start feeling upset in your body. You do this all day long. Okay, hon? Thank you for those hearts. I love you too. You're going to feel this all day long. But the difference is that now you're trained and you know to get out of the room. I had a client recently. She had a meltdown. She's a trained professional empath. She does this for a living. She said, what's wrong with me? I was in a room the other day and I felt all my old insecurities. I've done so much work on myself. She called me. I went into a remote view. There were abusive people in the room. So her Geiger counter went off. This guy beats his wife. This guy, she's collecting data, right? But she didn't ground herself. She didn't prepare. She went into an environment that wasn't safe with predators. They were in an auditorium. There's always going to be 3% are going to be psychopaths. Who knows? Maybe he was sitting in front and back, she or he or they. And so what happened? She had a meltdown picking up this abusive person. And so I said, you know what? Just ground yourself. We can't save the world, but you're going to start feeling this. And I want you to be able to protect yourself. And that's the purpose of abiding. Not that you have to be perfect, but that you can protect yourself, ground yourself, and say, oh, that's his stuff that I'm interpreting, and this is my stuff, and this is how I deal. This is my report that I'm going to give my client. Does that make sense? Questions about healing? Yes, you're allowed to heal when you leave the session. We are not allowed to manipulate a target. That is a big no in HCRV. It's frustrating. I get it. You want to go in and you want to change Putin as a person, right? You are allowed with your guides to thank them and send them unconditional love and send them healing. But you are not allowed to go in and begin manipulating what you think that they should do. Are we clear about that? This is how you close. You thank them, you bless them, you send them universal love. You're always in a state of grace and protection, because I'm not going to let you go in unless you've done the empath's prayer or something to protect yourself. And then from that higher vibration, you're going to be protected. If you're abiding in that higher vibration, you're safe. That's why we talk about the empath's prayer. That's why we put you in white light. That's why we send unconditional. If you're here, you're not collecting garbage. You're sending out high vibration. What happens if you don't do this? You start collecting crap. This is why I need you to do the abiding. Okay. Any last questions before we go into our trance work today? This is somebody who's grounded herself. Look how beautiful the healer's energy is before she goes into the energy of somebody else. Isn't that lovely? She grounded herself. She abided. She took a minute to center herself. Then she goes in. She's grounded. Look at that beautiful first chakra. What do we call this in HCRV? We call it perfect alignment. What is child's pose in yoga? It's an abiding, right? Abide, center yourself, child pose. Okay. Any questions about that? Are we live? I think we're public, but that's okay. We do one public class a month. Per quarter, we do one public class. It's okay if this is public. And also, it lets the general public into our classes so that they can see what we do if they would like to join a class. I try to have one or two be public a quarter, so it's okay. Okay. Any questions before we start with the remote viewing targets? If anybody watching would like to join, we're teaching at the Elders and Empaths Level. This class is open to the general public. It's class 4, 10-part series. Okay, are we ready? First target we're going to be doing today is a hidden target. You're going to go ahead and write your name and the date on the piece of paper. If you are training to be a professional remote viewer, I can tell you how most companies want you to do the work. We want your name, the date, and the number of the target, and we want 2 lines down. If they trained with me, this is how I want them to do it. Okay, 2 lines down. I think they do it in the standard also. Okay, your first column is going to be any questions you have for the teacher if you're confused in any way. And I will try and get back to you. If you want to mail, take a picture and mail, or even just type out your questions, it's fine. Your middle is going to be any shapes, images, or colors, or anything that you see. Some remote viewers like to use colored pencils. I actually think that's a great idea. So it's going to be your shapes, your images, and some of you are going to be more visual, third eye and so I accept all kinds of remote viewers. Give me your best, right? So many of you are going to be focusing on the second column. Third column is going to be the most active for most heart-centered remote viewers, and that is your emotional reactions and your thought patterns as you go into this. Okay, so I felt angry, I felt upset, I felt like I wanted a revolution, right? Because what's going to start happening is you're going to start being in these places energetically, and you're going to start becoming these people energetically. And then you're going to start picking up their thoughts. Like Roger Stone, right? I didn't know who the hell Roger Stone was. I hadn't done research on Roger Stone, but when I went into the remote, he was like, I did it all. I sing, I dance, I made Trump who he is. I made him the president. And then I watched the video. I was like, yep, that's the guy I made contact with. Okay. Any questions before we start our first target? Excuse me. Okay, first target, please write it down if you're getting credit for class. It's T-3548213. The target number is T-3548213. This is a random location that has been selected by the computer. I'm going to open it up now and see what we got. Oh, good. A place I want to go. That's the hint you get. A place, some places are interesting and some places are not. All right. Are we ready? But I can go to some strange places. All right. Go ahead and just get yourself comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let's go on a journey together. Let's do some soul work together, huh? Let's close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. Do the empath's prayer. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. And as you close your eyes and you let yourself relax deeper and deeper into relaxation, I want you to imagine that you are in a bubble of light, a shield of pure light, love, and protection. That you are 100% safe. You can call on your spirit guides and your good angels to be with you and protect you and to keep you in a higher vibration. And imagine a beautiful golden light surrounding you in a beautiful healing energy. And that this beautiful healing energy is being sent to the entire world from your core, from your gut. And now I want you to go ahead and put your hands on your gut. Love your gut, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Imagine beautiful healing energy coming from the earth, coming up to the base chakra. Imagine beautiful healing Kundalini energy coming up to the first chakra. It can be a beautiful golden healing energy, sending love and healing to the first chakra, to the second chakra. And feel that beautiful, loving, healing warmth coming up, going down into your legs and your hips. Beautiful, warm energy. To the third chakra. And now you can imagine putting one hand on your gut, if you like, and then the other on high heart, right here. Continue to allow that beautiful healing energy to come up, grounding you to the earth. And imagine this beautiful, loving, healing energy coming from the yang, the sky energy, universal energy, to the crown chakra, opening up the crown chakra. Coming down and opening the sixth chakra. And then the fifth. Beautiful liquid healing energy. Experience that anointing energy coming down and the beauty of Kundalini coming up. And now let's bring those two energies together. Beautiful white light and the beautiful golden Kundalini energy. And now imagine bringing those two beautiful healing energies together in a beautiful ball between the third and the fourth chakra. And I would like you to just go into child pose and just abide for a minute. And allow yourself to be loved and healed by the world and by the heavens. And as you're abiding in this beautiful energy, I'm going to talk you down into a very relaxed state, knowing that you are safe, knowing that you are loved, and knowing that you are protected by your guides, by your deity. 5, getting more relaxed, and you are always the one in control. 4, 3, going deeper into relaxation, focus more on the gut, fall into the gut energy. 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to just connect with your gut and just abide there. Trust your gut. All right, you can go ahead and now touch the target from a place of love and compassion. You may now touch the target on the piece of paper with your dominant hand. The numbers that you're connecting with are T-354-82183. This is a physical location. And as you abide in this love, going deeper and deeper into the gut, imagine yourself going closer and closer and closer in love and intimacy with this location. And as you sit in this location and ask permission to abide at this location with love in your heart. Ask yourself, do I feel safe in this place? Do I feel safe abiding in this location? As you abide in this location, you may have physical sensations. Do you feel warm or cold? Do you feel that this location tends to be warm or cold? Do you feel safe? Do you feel warm or cold? Do you feel the location is in a northern hemisphere or southern? As you abide in this location, you may have physical sensations about the function of this location. You may want to do something at this location, a sense or desire as you connect with other people or beings at this location. You may send universal love to the other people or beings at this location, asking them to tell you, where am I? What do you do here? Write it down. As you abide in this location, you may see colors, structures. Please write that down as well. And finally, ask this location, what is your function and why were you created? Why did human beings create this location? If you have any more questions for this location, go ahead and write them down. If you are level 2, I would like you to do magic carpet technique and see if you can't physically walk the grid and get more information that way. Level 2 can go ahead and try and walk the grid. I always start at the southwest. You don't have to. Some people start at the northwest. I mean, however you want to imagine, once you've established the location, I just imagine putting a magic carpet on top of the target, and then I just walk it and just see my physical reaction. Imagine walking, starting southwest, and just go. And then I will physically feel weight. And that usually tells me what's going on in a location. And then sometimes I'll get flooded with colors or images. All right. Once you have completed finding out as much as you can about this location, I want you to go ahead and thank the target. You did a great job. Thank the target. Send love, unconditional healing. Bless them. Go ahead and cut cords that you temporarily established. You have completed your karma with this location. And release. Send love to the target. Great job. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's debrief. Start with the basics. Did you feel safe or unsafe at the location? Safe or unsafe at the location? Which, by the way, is completely subjective. I made the mistake of sending people to the Roman Colosseum. Half the class had a great time, and the other half of the class was having nightmares thinking that they were going to have to go out and kill somebody. So it's true. Someone's like, I'm in a jail and I don't want to kill anybody. I just want to go home. And it turned out to be the Roman Colosseum. So I sent people there, but they all wound up in different time periods. Like some people were in modern times, like, great, I'm going for an Italian ice. But other people unfortunately wound up in like 200 BC and stuff, and 208 wasn't pretty. Let's just put it that way. So, yeah. All right. So people felt safe. Great. Any idea of where you were? What was the weather like? Got any weather updates? Any ideas about the weather that you may have experienced? Anything about that you want to share? Warm, nice. Mhm. Any colors you might have seen? Mm. What do you think the function of this place was? Why do you think this place existed? Ooh. Did you guys want to go there? Did you not want to go there? My sister just got back from Auschwitz. So when someone, she's like, I want to go there. I'm like, you want to go there? She went on a heritage tour thing, but that's the last place in the world I would want to go, right? But she felt it was important. So, um, yeah. So sometimes we can want to go places that are not necessarily uh, happy places, right? A star pattern. I like it. Oh, yeah. Star patterns. I love it. What were you guys doing in this magical place, in this special place? What were people doing for fun or I don't know. Okay. You guys were in the beautiful Dollywood, considered one of the best places in America to work. It actually was voted top, what was it, top 10 places to work in the United States? Because she gave everybody a percentage of the business, even the people that were emptying out trash cans, and she gave free education to all of her employees. She's a wonderful woman, but and she's a Democrat. um, yeah, it was Dollywood, best place in America to work, right? I think she starts you at 25 bucks an hour, plus you get to own part of the company, plus you get a free college degree, and it's just considered like the best place to work. Because she felt, I think that Dolly Parton felt that she had enough, in her words, she has enough money, and the employees were the ones that were doing the work. So she felt that they should get the money from Dollywood. And so that's what she chose to do. Yeah. There is a castle. There's all kinds of things. You can go ahead and take a look. And there's stars. There's stars on her hat. Somebody said they saw the star on Dolly's hat. Yep, the star on her hat. And the stars on her shoes, on her cowboy boots. Very nice. So you guys got the star. That was very good. Those are the kinds of images that we're looking for, like the little star on her head, the little star on the boots, are part of the imagery. There's also a star for one of the things at the show, at the Dollywood. So nice. That's what I want to see. Also, people got the colors right, the blues, the juxtaposition of the different colors of the fact that people thought it was a warm weather, green, cooling, refreshing water. Very good. Yeah, similar to Spain and Greece. It's Tennessee, so yeah, you're going to get that kind of weather. Very similar, similar weather. little bit humid, a little bit hot. Very good. Green, white, and blue. Yep, those are the colors that I wanted you to see, was the different colors of the designs of her stuff, like the big blue thing that I showed that was in one of the images. Okay, excellent. Before we close today, I'll get you out of here hopefully by 7:10. You're still in a semi-trance state, by the way. I didn't take you out. We're going to do a person this time. Y'all like to do a person? Okay, let's do a person this time. Let's mix it up a bit. This is a person, either dead or alive, who's been randomly selected by the computer as a famous person. All right, please write the following number down. Excuse me. Number is T-677-101-955. Those are random numbers. All right. This is a person, dead or alive, randomly selected by the computer. Numbers are randomly selected also. All right. Go ahead. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. You're in a bubble of light, a shield of protection. You're in a bubble of light, a shield of protection, surrounded by a beautiful golden light. Excuse me. And just abide in that beautiful cocoon of golden light and that beautiful white light. Bubble of light, a shield of protection. And imagine again reconnecting with your root chakra as it continues to come up, sending healing, and heaven's force coming down, meeting earth's force. And again, see if you can't bring them together and go back into child pose. Just abide. Healing energy coming down and coming up. Earth's force and heaven's force. And then bring them together between the third and fourth chakra. This is basic Qigong also. Just abide for a second. Go back to your gut. Put your hand on your gut. Focus on your gut. Trust your gut. You will feel a sensation coming up to your heart. That's the energy being digested in your gut and going up into the heart, giving you information. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your gut. And send love and compassion. You can go ahead with your dominant hand and touch the target number. This individual's number is T-677-101-955. And just touch the number. And as you do so, imagine sending unconditional love and acceptance of this individual. I'm going to open up a picture of them just to help transmit this information for you guys. Okay, good picture. And just send love and abide and listen and be receptive to this person's story, understanding that you are safe, you are grounded. You can look at this situation objectively. Observe the emotions from a distance. As you abide with this person, do you feel safe or unsafe? As you abide with this person, do you feel the gender is more male or female? Gender is fluid, but we'll say male or female predominant. Do you feel this individual is alive or deceased? Ask them. Ask your gut. They're in your heart and they're communicating with you through your gut. In your heart, ask them. See what your gut tells you. What is the nature of this individual's work? What is the nature of this individual's work? Can you get any kind of physical description of this individual? If so, write it down. Their hair color, eye color, or other physical characteristics. What is the nature of my work? Tell this individual what his work or her work is. What is their work? Ask them. What do you do for a living? Or what did you do for a living? You can ask other questions on your own. You can take a couple minutes to continue to connect with them. And when you're done, you can go back to child pose. Okay, great job, everyone. You're going to go ahead when you're ready to thank this individual target for participating in this process. And you're going to cut cords. They were temporary anyway. And release them and send love and healing, unconditional love and healing. Thank them for participating in this process. Remember, we always ask permission. We send love, we ask permission to connect with them. People either respond to the love or they don't, right? All right. So now I'd like you to go ahead and close your eyes again. Go back into child pose. And we're going to bring you back up from the trance state. We're going to thank our spirit guides and our good angels for helping us in this work. We're going to thank the location and target for participating. And now we're going to come up and be awake. I'm going to count it up to 1, 2, wakey, wakey, 3. You're feeling so good. 4, 5, feeling great, slowly coming out of trance. In a bubble of light, you're protected. Life is good. Nobody got hurt. Everybody played nice with each other. Oh, John, you're such a show-off. Don't you want anybody else to participate first? Okay, let's start with gender, male or female? John's a show off. John is an excellent remote viewer. Male or female? Let's do that first. No, I believe that gender is fluid. That it's an energy thing more than even a body thing. Like some souls are more masculine, some are more feminine. Safe male with brown hair. That's kind of cool. All right. Did you guys get physical descriptions? I'm getting some people giving me physical descriptions. That's pretty cool. What do you think this person does for a living? Oh, I need to get you out of here pretty soon. Straight brown hair. What'd they do for a living, Jen? What's the job? Any messages that this person wants us to know about who they are or what they do for a living? Choir. Interesting, Deb. Choir. So you're seeing the whole music choir thing going on. Okay. Okay. Profession. If you were going to name a profession for this individual, what would it be? That tea was so good. All right, it was Yo-Yo Ma. And I think of Yo-Yo Ma as a true artist, right? Male, dark hair artist. John usually gets it right. He might get like the mustache thing. I don't think he's been sporting a mustache lately. He did have a very thin mustache when he was younger. Thank God he got rid of it. I think it looks terrible. He did have a little bit of a thing he was working on when he was younger, but now he's going clean shaven, and I think it looks a lot better. Very few people can sport that look. I once knew a woman that got to hold his cello because I think she was supposed to be the person to, I don't know, check it, tune it or something. And he said, "Can you watch my cello?" I think he had to run off and do something. And she said it was such a weird feeling because I was holding his cello and it was worth easily, $1 million or something. And can you imagine? Yeah. But she made a joke because my friend, she has a PhD in music. She's actually a colleague of his. And she was like, "So does this mean that you're going to pay for my PhD?" Like she was joking. I guess he was performing at UCLA for some, oh, that's right. It was for his grad students. And she was, I think she was actually one of his co-teachers. She was not a student. She was one of the professors teaching. Yeah, isn't that cool, though? You get to hold Yo-Yo Ma's cello. Yeah, very cool. He is a philanthropist. He works a lot with creating affordable education for poor kids. His family actually was simple family from China. They didn't have a lot of wealth. So he's been very active in free music education for poor kids in like New York, etc. Yeah, good guy. All right, great job, everybody. If you are new and you're just checking out our class, think about joining. It's at the Elders and Empaths Level. We get together every Wednesday at 6 o'clock and we do remote viewings. If you want to get credit for a remote viewing class, we ask you to take notes. And yeah, and then you get to be certified. All right, goodbye, everybody. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. for Hot Topics Thursday. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for being here.